Hello everybody, I'm just about ready to get started. Hello Mateus, hope you're doing well. Let's chat a little bit first. Talk about what's on the agenda. Well, forgot I left my patch notes open, but that is the agenda. So I want to go over everything that's going to be in this upcoming patch, and then we're going to do a run. I just want you to understand the full scope of this particular patch. It is quite something. So let's start with some basics. I'm going to put in an experimental change to allow you to use Faceplant to skip death. So when we go to do our run after this, I'm going to attempt death skip, which should be possible regardless of relics. I haven't decided how much this needs to be tweaked. I don't know how much this will break other things, but I know people have been requesting it. So I did add a means to do it. Hello, Calvetian. Hope you're doing well. Exactly. I was actually about to joke, and I'm glad you came in just as I was about to joke it. I'm gonna call this the Calvetian change, or the Calvetian patch again, since I know you've been requesting this. It's a lot of things that I think you had mentioned in testing, and also I think Chrysogrim had experience. I basically have tweaked and have put into the patch. So from a standpoint of the patch, death skip is possible. I'm gonna attempt it. I'll probably save state it since I've literally did it maybe twice yesterday. I got almost every attempt, but I didn't try to see like how hard it is, quote unquote. It does require a lot of MP at level 1, so that is a possible means of failure. Also, jumping too early will make you fail. So there is a little bit of skill involved, and I'll have to think about a setup for it, but it should be possible now going forward. The one thing I'm going to mention here, so to help the testers going forward, I've added another option for quick settings. So right at the beginning, if you load in a fresh patch version of this file, you can set it up just for Mayhem play, Axe Armor, which will turn on the tips. It'll make sure things like Spirit Orb are enabled and all that fun stuff. Or Axe Armor with items. I just put as items parentheses. I might rename it. It's not a big deal, but essentially it'll do the same thing, where you start with Cubazoe. So I feel like if people want to try different quote-unquote like race settings with it, or just want to do easier test setups, it's probably more convenient for people if I just let you choose what you're actually playtesting, because this will get you pretty much all the way set up. So this one I think is more of a God's Child change, because I know he in particular liked to crouch. So I decided, you know what, since the patch was delayed by about a week, why don't we do something to make an already existing feature better? So one of the things we're doing is we're reducing the hurt box of the Axe Armor when you crouch. So I think this is probably most noticeable when you're on the boat ride with, what is it, Charon? / the boatsman. And the bats would hit you even though you're crouching. So that should no longer happen. I double-checked the value that you get. I think normally your hurt box height is 13 units, and when you crouch it's 9. Both of which are in hex, so 13 is higher than 13, etc, etc. So it should be a lot shorter. It should match the graphic when you crouch. And one other thing I did in order to not have you instantly die... Actually, I'm not going to say prevent 0 HP bug. I don't know if this will prevent it. I'm assuming it will. That's a big assumption on my part. So one thing I'm looking to do to make crouching a bit more player-friendly is I know there's a bit of a delay to it. So I'm actually giving you a short period of iframes when you first enter the crouching animation. This doesn't mean you have perma invincibility, it just means you're less likely to immediately get frame 1 knocked out of, let's say, using the elevator. So it's more of just a convenience thing. I don't think you could really use this in a way that's meaningful, since it only lasts 8 frames. But who knows, maybe there's some crazy setup where you don't instantly... I don't know. I'll leave it in there for now. But one thing I want to state in general is if you do get struck, I'm giving you the equivalency of, I think, 2 seconds of iframes. So you shouldn't just get hit repeatedly over and over and over. So if you do crouch, like you're trying to do your classic boss strats versus, like, let's say Medusa, it should stop you from getting looped. Or let's say Galamoth, if you're crouching and you get hit by the orb, you shouldn't get multi-hit by the orb. So things like that, it's just kind of a quality of life change. and this will make crouching actually more useful in the boss fights where I would say it's more mandatory, in particular for Galamoth. So now you have a bit better options to deal with them. So we have a lot of changes to damage. I'm gonna gloss over the formulas since they actually really have not changed too much. I'm just putting these in here as a reminder. This is for people that want to pause the video. They could go back to it. So there's your chance. I will state, however, the biggest changes come from the multi-hit. So there was a bug. I'm just going to reiterate, just in case this wasn't captured in a previous video. There was a bug with the single-hit weapons where on very large targets, it was actually possible to hit more than once. So against like small enemies like skeletons or zombies, I'm not going to say it was impossible, but it was extremely unlikely that it would multi-hit. Where if you fight something like a Bees or a Dracula, for example, or even Shaft, because Shaft is also pretty tall, you would potentially get a multi-hit. So I've removed that. That was definitely a bug and definitely not intended. So to help keep the single hit more in line, on top of removing the unintentional double hit, it's taking a -4 damage penalty. I think between the two of those, it feels a lot more fair, and you're not just like instantly bursting bosses. In particular, as I said before, big bosses were destroyed by single hit, which was unintended. Now, I think generally the scaling is a lot kinder comparatively for the multi-hit weapons. It's still like a pretty big penalty, but I'm basically making it more scale off a strength penalty than flat damage penalty, which I think just feels better from a gameplay standpoint, and weapon attack matters more. So it makes things like casual more impactful. So I think overall, you know, less upfront damage, more scaling penalties. So that should feel a little better at lower levels comparatively. So I think that's just my shorthand. I bumped up unarmed attack by +1 due to the -4 from single hit. It's pretty negligible, but it does help hit certain damage thresholds. Like literally at the beginning of the game. That's it. It's the only time you might notice it is right at the beginning. I reworked how throwables worked so that they still take the flat damage penalty from the multi-hit, but they ignore the weapon scaling penalty and the strength scaling penalty. So that way there's some sanity check to them. They're not just like de facto the best weapon ever. And similarly, I think I nerfed club damage. It's more scaling off of the weapon versus flat damage. Now, I don't know if I covered it here or lower down. I'll have to check. I made a change to Fire Shield. I don't know if I wrote that somewhere. But Fire Shield should actually do fire damage and not water damage. But it'll be like a single hit. The one other thing that Calvisham really was looking forward to, teching. So this is a fighting game term. Whenever you're knocked down, you can tech off the ground. And what I mean by that is if you press the R1 button, which is BAT in default PlayStation controls, you can actually immediately cancel your getting hit animation and pop right up. So you could shave off at least like a half a second from the invulnerability time. Now, obviously the penalty of that is you could get hit faster. So if you just do that willy-nilly, you will actually take damage faster than normal. However, it also means that if you're trying to use this for damage boosting, like let's say you got a really good dash and you slide into an enemy by accident, or maybe on purpose because you want to maintain the momentum, this makes this strategy a lot better. Now, I will state, if you use it in the air, instead of getting you out of the invulnerability state, it'll actually extend the iframes. And what I'm saying is if you get Power of Mist, instead of 8 frames of a slight raise, you get 16 frames. This makes it a little easier to do kind of awkward jumps or awkward platforms. And the best example of that I can think of offhand would be Catacombs, where the entrance to each of the hallways is raised by like a tile or more, or Library, where there's always like a little step before you get to the entrance. And with Power of Mist, you could go up at least 2 tiles worth. Without it, I think you could go up 1 tile. And that's enough that you can actually slide into those doorways. So this should open up a lot more in terms of mobility and doing that risk reward of taking damage for max speed. So I want to open up more ways to go fast is ultimately the theme of the patch. So one other thing I'm looking to do, speaking of going fast, I'm now giving Mist or slash Faceplant new actions. So that way you have more control over your playstyle. So what I mean by that is that normally, prior to this patch, Faceplant was pretty binary. If you go fast at the startup, you go fast while in flight. And there's not really much you could do to it. You could slow down by turning, and that was about it. I'm gonna try, see if this works. If it's too powerful, we'll tweak it. I'm gonna allow you to spend MP if you botch the initial momentum, or let's say you change your mind and you have no momentum and need momentum, that you could hold down the square button or the main hand attack, depending on how you want to view the controls, to increase in speed. Now this also not only increases speed, but it resets the mist duration. So for people that don't have, like, let's say Power of Mist or Bat, and they don't have Permaflight, they now have a way of extending your horizontal distance. So you have like pseudo flight if you're willing to burn MP for it. It'll make certain tricks a bit more consistent and a bit easier. Like for example, with Form of Mist and this, I think you could do Succubus Skip kind of for free. I mean, you could still do it the old-fashioned way, which I still think is faster. It's just riskier. But this also allows us to perform Depth Skip. So from a stationary jump, we should be able to accelerate to a capped wolf speed without the Mist Relics. And that should be enough to get you through Death. So this is mandatory. Well, I'm not going to say it's mandatory, but it would be like borderline impossible RTA. To get the exact height you need and max speed in order to clear Death. It's very hard. You would have to like angle into the doorway and bonk at a very specific point of your jump. It's not very user-friendly, so let's not worry about, you know, bonk angle in order to get past Death. So this is gonna help you do it from a stationary start. So one other thing we're looking to do when it comes to playstyles is some people don't like to use subweapons, some people don't like to use MP or bosses. So oh, I realized I think the descriptions are flipped. MP just for his current subweapon. No, that's not correct. Not sure how that happened. You know what? I'm gonna flip these descriptions. I wrote them out, but maybe because I changed their position, I forgot to do this. That's gonna bother me. So 1 second, chat. Let's make sure that's correct. So when you press the backdash button or triangle, the intent is to... All might be a misnomer. I'm gonna put many/all. It's not technically always all hearts, but I want you to be able to drain your hearts for MP. So I'm putting in a safety delay of about 80 frames. So it's very hard to do this unintentionally. You have to be like super you would have to be you'd have to jump while holding triangle or Y on the Xbox controller and just not let go for over a second. I don't feel bad for you if you get this, I'll put it that way. But the intent of it is, if you do spells and you perform a faceplant, like out of the spell, it should not trigger this. But if you do a long faceplant, like in the air or across the floor, and then do it towards the tail end, I will let you consume all of those hearts for gradual MP regen. And this is the only way currently for you to gain MP while in faceplant. So we can improve the conversion ratio by getting Gas Cloud, because again, my other goal is to make sure Gas Cloud is more useful. The Gas Cloud, for example, gives you more speed potential, or the speed up, and it also now affects the conversion ratio. So instead of requiring 2 hearts for every 1 MP, it becomes 1-to-1, for example. So now you have more use out of Cubazoe, even if you don't like your subweapon. And speaking of if you don't like your subweapon, I'm gonna state, if you find another subweapon along the way, or you just really know you just don't like the subweapon and don't want to use it, I'm gonna let you sacrifice the subweapon. So you destroy it while in faceplant, it gives you heart regen, and it also gives you health regen. So it's fairly strong. It kind of makes up for not having Soul Steal. It's just more situational. So having to earn Soul Steal or the equivalency thereof and it being limited off of sub-weapons, I'm kind of okay with it. So for people that were kind of struggling to get the mobility of the character down, this might help in terms of like survivability. Like if you miscalculate how much you're taking from damage boosts, you have kind of like a out without requiring food items. And I will state, this also really helps for extended Superman sections or when you do the faceplant with flight, as this will potentially grant you upwards of max hearts. Let's say towards the end of the game you have 200 hearts. If you have Gas Cloud, that's 200 extra MP for flight. That's a lot of MP, chat. So I feel like this is going to add another layer of strategy. I don't feel like this is super abusable because it's a slow gain. Like you could cap the pool, but the time spent trying to get the sub-weapon to respawn, etc., I think kind of negates some of the bonus from it. So if you just happen to do it, like let's say you're in a long hallway, like, I don't know, like the Axe Armor hallway beneath Richter, that one tends to have a lot of sub-weapons. Maybe you'll find a couple while doing your dash attacks, and you go in and do it. Yeah, or you could, yeah, it's like a nitro for flight. You can also time it that if you don't use any MP at all, that gives you a huge MP pool for the boss fight itself. So you have a lot more strategy with it, and it's just kind of how you think the MP will help you the most. So one thing I did change a little bit, since it's slightly easier to get MP, I did change the cost of some of the mobility options. So one thing I'm nerfing is the gravity jump, or wolf/R2 plus jump / cross. So instead of it only costing 2 for chaining gravity jumps, I'm making it cost 3. So it costs 1 more. But in exchange, because there's more things relying off of faceplant, I don't want to have Form of Mist reduce the cost to 3, as I do feel like that actually was slightly too low, and that let you chain dodges together a little too easily. So I'm just reducing the starting cost and the permanent cost to 4. So I feel like that's more fair, and it leaves the player more vulnerable if they do happen to burn out of MP. Like, they could get it earlier, but if they happen to have Form of Mist at the same situation, they get it later. One thing I'm doing to reverse, I don't really know what to call. I don't know if I ever gave this a game term, but if you just held faceplant and you kind of like fall and pratfall over and over in place, that ended up burning a lot of MP. And while I still think that should happen if you bonk like that and you decide to just keep holding the button and not react, I actually do think that's your fault. But just in case, if you hit it unexpectedly, I'm putting in a longer delay so you don't burn as much MP in the same scenario. So I'm reducing the penalty for clipping the floor by accident while on faceplant, and also making sure, oh, typo. And also making sure that if you're holding the spell button during this time, you're not able to cast spells while doing the rapid bonk. I think it was technically possible before. I think I've only seen it happen once or twice, where you would just faceplant repeatedly but shoot like a fireball, for example. So this should prevent that from happening, and you also don't bonk repeatedly. Now, one thing I also changed to make faceplant a bit less binary, I will state, and to make it more dependent on relics and things like that, I'm now making sure that the ground and air momentum scale based off of relics. So for example, momentum now scales relics. I think this number is not correct. I'm gonna double check this in the official patch notes. I think it's 1.33. Ooh. I forget offhand, chat. Make the numbers even, I'll just put an extra. But essentially what I'm looking to do, actually no, it's not that high. I think it was 1.20. What I'm looking to do is, if you're not using the bat flight and you're kind of using that limited duration flight from before, I'm actually, oh, maybe because I put it here. I think that's still applicable here. Maybe it is just 1.3. I'll put 1.3 for now. So what I'm saying here is, if you happen to have Power of Mist, instead of it being kind of useless, like once you get Bat, you know, Bat is kind of like it's still a really strong relic, don't get me wrong, in Axe Armor, but to bump up the Power of Mist power, if you go neutral without using the flight button and use that limited duration flight, you'll actually fly faster. So the trade-off is you have less control over moving up and down compared to regular flight. However, you have fast fall with Power of Mist, which might be more useful if you're looking to cancel it. So kind of a change in playstyle between the two flight methods. Keep in mind, you can now spend MP to maintain that limited flight for longer. So if you want to fly around with the Power of Mist equivalency, it's now possible. But for very long hallways, like your marble galleries, this should shave off maybe like a second, maybe second and a half overall if you do it correctly. So there are little speed checks to make it a bit less binary, as I said before. And now you have some considerations of how much MP you're willing to burn in the hallway. Are you willing to sacrifice your hearts to get more MP to maintain the super boost? Do you sacrifice a weapon in order to go for either just the basic no heart weapon, which we'll get to later, or if you want to use the hearts for just general flight, or maybe you just want to conserve them for something in the future? I don't know. I feel like it adds more strategy. So I feel like I want players to be able to express a bit more skill and control with the character, while not being necessarily like a blocker for people looking to get into the game. So like none of these mechanics are technically necessary to memorize or be like 100% at efficiency, but for people that want to spend the time to kind of fine-tune what is the best version of flight for the character, I want to give you that option. So I want you to be rewarded for experimentation is the ultimate goal. And also, as I said before, to allow skill expression. So overall, if I had to summarize both of these changes, I think actually this one should fire up specifically. So I'm making the momentum slower without relics, so you don't go like hyper fast all the time. So damage boosting is a little weaker in the beginning, but towards the end, it's extremely strong. So kind of take your pick with it. It is a nerf overall to the different momentums. It's still useful though. Don't get me wrong. I just don't feel like it is the go-to necessarily every single time. So we'll see. If I feel like I over-nerfed it, I'll revert some of these values. I do feel like by late game, you get almost all the momentum back anyway. So we'll see how I feel about it. Yeah, one thing I'm looking to do, as I said before, is to give more power to the Mist relics. So we talked about if you get Form of Mist, the max momentum speed increases. Power of Mist also increases the minimum momentum. Oh, that's why I put 1.00. Oh, I understand what I was doing there now. I'll leave it as 1.00. Technically, it's 1.3 in the air, but 1.0 on the ground. So if you have Power of Mist, that gives you the full damage boosting capabilities. So again, it's just, if you pick up the relics, you're rewarded, is basically what it comes down to. Kicky Feet got a very minor damage buff. I think it gets +2 base damage. It's literally it. It's not anything too crazy, but I feel like to kind of keep up with some of the other damage changes, I think that needs just a very, very small buff. But otherwise, we're not going to see it too crazy. I still think Kicky Feet is extremely strong against certain bosses, in particular when you pair it with some of the sub-weapons we're going to talk about. So if you want to go for the I spend my hearts to get MP to infinitely suspend a sub-weapon, which is a very viable strategy, I will state. I'm going to reward you for also picking up Gas Cloud from the conversions aspect as well as the damage aspect. So we'll briefly talk about some of these other sub-weapons, but the goal of every sub-weapon is that they should all feel unique, they all do different damage types, they all interact differently with the player. So for example, we have an extremely slow moving lingering line of projectile/protection. So for 2 hearts, it's a pretty slow axe, but if you're fighting a boss, speed is not really an issue. It is a bad combination of damage types, I will say. Dark is pretty bad, so it's not going to be useful against most of the bosses in the later half of the game. But in the early game, maybe you'll find some use for it. Again, I don't want the I have no sub-weapon weapon to be extremely powerful, but I'm going to open the option. Maybe players will find it useful. Ironically, I think it's more useful against normal enemies, but if you're playing from a speedrun strategy, you will probably not be fighting most enemies along the way. So this is more of, I'm going to call this more of a casual-friendly weapon. For people that want to take their time and kill everything they see, generally this will probably be useful early on. We have some changes to Dagger. Dagger already previously did Cut. It arcs slightly downwards at a fast speed. I will state, though, I am increasing the damage by 1.33, so it should be way stronger. So, bumped up its damage because it can't multi-hit. That's the most important thing to kind of note. It cannot multi-hit. In fact, I'm not sure. I guess I can add the damage interval here. It doesn't hurt. If I had to guess purely offhand from what it was last time, I am pretty sure it's 20 frames. So, at the speed it goes... The fact that it can leave the screen in under a second, the odds of it multi-hitting are basically 0. I think if you are literally as far right as you could go in the Dracula fight versus Dracula, I think you might get a double hit. And I'm talking like you're literally against the screen aiming to the opposite direction, which is not where you want to stand versus Dracula, unless you really want to die and spawn in his hand. So, not very realistic to multi-hit at all. Axe is basically untouched. I put hit poison here, but poison actually doesn't work properly when it's put as the subtype, so I just reduced it to hit. Otherwise, there's not really a change here. Holy Water is very, very, very different. No hand slaps? Yeah, hopefully not. Holy Water is very, very, very different. Essentially, you throw what looks like one axe. Sometimes it splits a little at the beginning, but we'll call that SotN jank. It throws what should be a singular axe, and then they hit the bottom of the screen, and they fly upwards. They go at different arcs once they hit the bottom of the screen. So it'll be 4 axes with 1 throw. And for the most part, they're stationary. They'll very slightly move forward. So I know people have been looking forward to like a combination of like Alucard. You know, Holy Water is pretty strong in general, but also the Richter Holy Water where it moves forward. So combine it with a wider hitbox and a slight motion forward. And you kind of got, I'm not going to say the best of 2 worlds, but you got something unique. It's still identifiably Holy Water, but it is what it is. Are these change notes? Indeed they are, Sestrin. We're almost done with them. We'll be doing a run. But I'm just going over the high level of what to expect. So if people want to come back into it and reference it, this is kind of like their audio guide through the rest of it. I will state, though, Holy Water actually does water first, then Holy second. Because, you know, there are no water damaging type moves in the game by default for Alucard. So I thought it'd be cool if he could do a damage type he's normally not allowed to have. So hopefully people have fun with this weapon. It does dump on bosses. It's kind of a fire and forget. This one, I think, is really, really, really strong on Dracula in particular for the kicky feet strategy of flying in the air and keeping the Holy Water permanently going. It will eventually move completely out of place, so it's kind of like a balance check for that. So eventually it will scroll itself off screen. But overall, still probably one of the stronger weapons, which is why it costs 16 hearts. You gotta build up those hearts, chat, in order to use it. Now, this is probably the second most requested weapon that I've had when it's come to the sub-weapon generation. So it's the cross. It's not Alucard cross. Nobody likes Alucard cross that I know of. Everybody complains that it costs too much. It's kind of slow. Doesn't have like the best hitbox because you have to be like super close with it. And people have been requesting basically the Richter cross. So I recreated a version of the Richter cross where you throw it in front of you, it suspends briefly, then it reverses direction and builds up speed. So have fun with the chat. It now exists. I know Calvicium is a big fan of the Bible sub-weapons, so this is the Bible buff I decided that 20 hearts is probably the most I ever want a sub-weapon to cost. So I reduced Bible's current cost from 24 to 20. I think it was Holy Curse in the previous patch. So you get the Bible 4 hearts earlier. And I'm making it last a lot longer. So if you're not using it with the suspend in the air strategy with faceplant, it lasts, I think, another 3 seconds. If I'm doing math correctly. What do you think about this? No, actually, I take that back. It lasts another 5 seconds. So, much more useful. You get more bang for your buck. Maybe it'll get some love. Let's see what happens. So we have Stopwatch. Stopwatch is almost the same as it was before, but I'm now generating 3 axes instead of 1. Yeah, there was a weird damage bug with it before, and we fixed it by changing the damage formula here. That's all you really have to know about it. It does Ice Water now. So again, another water subtype. Nothing I think is weak to water in the default game. It is more useful in ROM hack mode, where people might vary the resistances of monsters. But overall, this subtype will not do anything in vanilla gameplay. It's just kind of for flavor, really. But this seemed pretty strong. I liked how it felt with the axes spaced apart. It is a lot more useful versus generic bosses, and you could kind of play around it a bit better. Now, one of the ones I'm still kind of fine-tuning, and hopefully we pick it up during the run today, is the Rebound Stone. So, normal Rebound Stone bounces off of walls and objects and things like that, and it's kind of slow. And it's also kind of hard to make it useful, because it takes so long for it to reach like a good angle to rebound to actually hit the enemy again. So 2 things. I'm changing it from hit stone to stone, because for some reason stone subtyping doesn't work. So it's not a very favorable damage type. However, I am making it do a lot of damage if it hits. It's 20% higher than a single axe hit. And most importantly, this is the longest duration subweapon in the game. And if you do this while in Mist Flight, it will basically destroy an entire room. Now, if you go at hyper fast speeds, like towards the tail end of like your max dash speed, it's not going to follow you correctly. I might look into it a bit more to make it follow more cleanly. If you go walking speed, it generally will follow you. And the difference between, you know, getting good angles or bad angles is I'm making it bounce off the screen itself and not objects in the room. So it's a lot easier to predict, and you have more control over how it bounces by sliding the screen around. So there's actually more strategy with the Rebound Stone. So for people that really like angles and like being able to manipulate it, you now have a consistent way to bounce the weapon, and you can manipulate how it bounces based off of if you jump, depending on your facing, depending on if you move the screen on like non-locked encounters. So a bit more strategy involved. Hopefully people find it fun. It is slightly faster than the normal Rebound Stone. Not like insanely fast, it's still a little slow. But it should ricochet overall more often in the same time period. And keep in mind, Rebound Stone also had a really teeny tiny hitbox, and you're rebounding with a big axe. So it's more generous with the rebounds compared to the Rebound Stone as well. So we have 2 sub-weapons left to talk about, and then we'll begin our run. So, Ashes. Ashes, I don't think there's any question mark there. Ashes I'm looking to have as a kind of very situational item. I don't feel like people generally used Ashes in general in normal gameplay. So to say that this makes it unusable, quote unquote, I'm gonna be like, I challenge you to tell me when you pick up Ashes and go, wow, I got Ashes, I'm gonna win now. Like, it's not Stopwatch, it's not Holy Water, so get out of here, I don't believe you. So the intent behind this weapon is if you like flight mode, not in faceplant, but just regular flight mode, and you want to hit things that are beneath you, you can drop axes vertically downwards. This is actually fairly useful on certain bosses, like, for example, bosses that don't resist poison would be Granfaloon. So you can actually just hover above Granfaloon and just dunk on him with a million axes. You only see Ashes used on the strategy and library. It's like, it's one of the most unloved weapons. But hey, Being able to drop axes straight downwards is useful for certain fights. It also means that you could potentially consistently hit the Richter Orb. I don't think it's the best one versus Richter Orb, but I figured I'd state that. The fact that you could be really high up in the air also means that it could cheese the Doppel fight to some extent. And it also means that you really don't have to worry about certain bosses that can only hit horizontally. So, like, GG to bosses like Medusa, I guess. If you just want a free but slower win, by all means, just cheese the boss that way. And now we have the most experimental of the sub-weapons, Aguni. So Aguni, I like to call the Fly Swatter. It basically will teleport on the screen. It checks roughly every 4 frames for an enemy that is not dead. And it will just zip around, hit them, and then do another check. And if they're still there, they'll keep attacking. And if you happen to do this in flight mode, you have teleporting axes that will follow you as long as there's objects near you. Actually, no, that's not true. They will follow you regardless, because if there are no objects to target, it will actually hover the axe near you, ready to be deployed. So they don't last for very long, kind of like normal Aguni isn't normally a lingering attack. So at most you might get 2, maybe 3 hits on the axe fall itself once Aguni is let go of. Or if you spam the button like normal Aguni, where you just hold the button down and let it rapid fire, you have constantly auto-aiming axes destroying things. Now to balance this, I'm making the damage not very high, but this one can be used both in casual play, walking around, like literally killing things as you walk, or just do like dash attacks, since there's no aiming involved. Or if you do use it in flight, if it is fighting multiple things, it could just switch targets. So for example, using Faceplant versing Trio, it will just kind of destroy the trio and eventually just single target a single trio until they die. So kind of interesting. Hopefully the chat ends up liking it, but as you can hear and see, every weapon is very different from each other. The only one that is like even vaguely similar to how it's done is maybe the No Heart weapon and Dagger. Dagger has more of an arc and is fast. This one is in a very straight line and is slow. So even then, there's not too many similarities between them. So I think that wraps up the patch notes. I will state there were a couple of bugs. I think I mentioned before the interval for one-hit weapons has been fixed, so no multi-hitting on big targets. Mormigale, I think I accidentally left out Cut. I think it was doing Dark, but it should be doing Dark Cut. Not that that makes a huge difference in normal play, but I figured I'd correct it. One other thing I did by accident is I looked at the wrong heart cost for Bible and Stopwatch. So technically for Bible, I think you needed 25 hearts and Stopwatch needed 21, even though they only cost 20 and 24 respectively prior to this patch. So it should be a bit easier to use. And I think that concludes the patch notes. So chat, I'm gonna take just like a very short break. And in that break, I want you to think of a seed name. And we're gonna try to play a patch. I don't know all the way to completion because I'm still kind of on call when it comes to work and I have some things I need to do later. But I figure we'll take a seed name, see what we're gonna do with it. I'll probably just do like Guarded OG because that one is just the easiest one for me to test, honestly speaking. And we're gonna leave it on with Subweapon. So that way if we pick something up early, we get to test it versus a boss, see how we feel about it. And maybe it'll give this cat some strategies. So, be right back, chat. Okay, chat, I'm back. I don't see any seed names, so I'll have to think of one. Let's see, what to call this. I'm gonna say I'm only thinking of boring names at the moment. Guess I'll call it Death Skip. Our goal is to skip death with the new axe armor, I suppose. Oh, for those wondering, by the way, this is the soundtrack for Loop Hero. Highly recommend you check out the soundtrack. Phenomenal. Okay, so I think we're good to go. I just generated a seed. We're gonna be calling it Death Skip. Hopefully that does happen. File, all I gotta do is replace what I have. Should be good to go. Ten blueprints and 2 secret rooms, 50k gold, the run of my life right now. Well, I think you've hit the plateau. Eventually I have to do some kind of weapon grind. I'm mostly struggling with Rogue Legacy at the moment because I just couldn't get a sword. Since I'm missing out the ability to go from 2-hitting something and currently have to 4-hit or more, which is really awful. Not the best feeling in the world, chat, I will state. Which is broken? Oh, okay. So I was gonna say I'm glad you're picking. I'm glad you like my second favorite class in the game. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, firewall. The flame barrier is ridiculous with the Lich. He's got the highest scaling magic in the game. He's even more magically inclined than the mage, and he ends up tankier than the mage. So he's kind of like a safer mage. He's like just a strict upgrade, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, chat, I think everything is good to go. So let's go ahead and boot it on up, I suppose. Boss music coming in as we're about to start up the seed. Love to hear it, chat. I'm kind of tempted just to leave the soundtrack on, but I should probably put certain sound effects on. Like, man, we just starting to get to the boss themes in Loop Hero. What a shame. So anyway, let's give it some sound. Make it a little quieter than normal. Fine, put it like here-ish. So we're gonna go ahead and boot everything up. Give me 1 second, chat. I'm gonna select from Axe Armor to Axe Armor with items, and I'm gonna hit save. We're gonna open the tracker so chat can see it. It loves when you click on things while you're trying to play the game. Let's get that echo in the voice. So I have not played pretty much the intro at all in like a month or more. I have not really done the intro. And pretty much I've only played on a couple rooms of the game, so I'm feeling kind of rusty. So I don't expect anything phenomenal this run. Yeah, I've been taking a break from Castlevania in general. Oh, I forgot to start up Mayhem. But that's actually on. I already forgot where the wall was. There we go. I'm just curious what items I'll start with if I go through with this strategy. I forgot you could backflip. I actually don't know how to do that. If chat can enlighten me / eliminate me, I would be very appreciative. It's something in the air. Is it like triangle or something? Ooh, he's kind of far from me. I don't think I could do my normal strategy. Yeah, he spawned not near me for some reason. That sucks. But he spawned even further from me. That's even worse. Are you being serious with me, game? Why did he spawn so far from me? That sucks. I mean, I'll take it slow. I don't really care. Normally, he's supposed to spawn, like, right there. What a jerk. What a jerk. Double jump to backflip? Thank you. Yeah, he spawned like at like the, I'm gonna call it like the 3/4 position instead of the halfway mark. I guess due to the saves that I have, it kind of offset him weird. But normally when I've been playing the other runs, you'll notice he normally spawns at the center of the screen. So I guess I have to delete some save files later, I guess. I'm not gonna restart a run for that, I don't care that much at the moment. I just want to enjoy the game for what it is. We're gonna showcase the slow-moving weapon. He can follow you between screens. What is our starting weapon? Basilard, what? Oh, Varda? No wonder why I'm doing so much damage. Oh, this would be amazing to do the skip with then. Be godlike. Subweapon? Sure, why not? I'm gonna tech there real quick. Power a Sire? Sure. Just keep Varda? Whatever. Please do it. We'll do a safety save. I'm gonna save over... Yes, one of these. I don't really care which one. I'll pick this one. Let's do it. Oh, I did it wrong. It's like a little finicky. Try this again, chat. Oh, I get myself Sprite Breaker by accident. Hold on, gotta restart. Want to do it one time. As I said before, it's possible to jump too early, which is what happened there. I gotta get closer. Right idea, bad timing. Let's make sure everything is back up again. 1 second. I'm gonna go for it. I want to prove it's possible. Oh. Actually, does that also work? I've never tried that before. Huh. You know, let's just keep it going backwards. That's kind of interesting. I never tried that before. Call that the Requiem strat. There we go. That's how it's supposed to look if you do it correctly. Again, we're not doing a serious run. Like, the whole intent of this particular run is to show off things. Just showing it as duplicator. What a run. What a run. I forgot you can't pause after doing death skip. It's how little I do death skip. I forgot that was the thing for a moment. My brain had to parse that. So let me get this straight. I skip death. I have a Basilard. I could unequip the Basilard for more damage. Or I can power a Sire Duplicator. Actually unfair. This is like the best seed ever. Right, chat? I called it death skip. It wasn't kidding. What a start. Echo a bat, why not? Yeah, you can hold the button down for extended flight. We'll showcase it one more time here in case you missed it. That's just me holding the button down. Managed to get through the hallway. So now we have insane damage. This is good, because I don't feel like trying right now, chat. Do 69 damage a hit on the skeletons. That's just unfortunate for them, chat. Wow, that damage is insane right now. Like, actually crazy. Speaking of crazy. Charm a coin? Actually. Oh, you know what? I could put a Vassalard in my offhand. It's technically 1 extra damage. Oh, they have more defense. Oh, that's crazy. It's actually so crazy how good that is, chat. Oops, I didn't get the first jump correctly. Meanwhile, Calvishim's like, where's the seed luck when I make seeds, right, Calvishim? Listen, sometimes you just gotta believe in what it'll generate. I'll kill you on the way there. Why not? We have Power of Sire, Duplicator, Varda. It's GG, chat. Like, in any other seed, that would just be an auto win. So we're gonna enjoy our free auto win for now. I do have a Goonie. I guess I could showcase it on this enemy. It just bopped him. So good, chat. I didn't use the axe so much, but we've seen that a lot in other playthroughs. Your PvPV unguarded OG for sure. Alright, let's showcase how strong this is. So pretty good. I destroyed the weapon because I don't care about it anymore. I just wanted to showcase it. That was fully on purpose, John. That way I could do stuff like this. Get that MP restore in case I want to go fast. Because I'll be regenning hearts the whole time anyway. The odds of us not getting a Subweapon here are kind of low. There's usually a lot between here and the exit. It's fine, we didn't get it here. Got a lot of other checks to make with torches. Oh, just money? Oh, there. Speaking of Ricochet Stone. There we go. It's so amazing, chat. I love it. I got stuck on the edge of the screen, unfortunately, due to screen transition. I might put a safety check in for that. We'll see. Normally, it's not a big deal. Today, if I just want to do some damage, it's not bad. Though in normal platforming, it follows for a bit. The Ricochet Stone still having fun in the next screen. Thank you, Ricochet Stone. 169 damage. Wow. Can you imagine, chat? But yeah, I guess that's with the weakness of hit kicking in. Oh, another sub-weapon there. That means I could break my sub-weapon. You can see the heart regen coming into play. Oh, it's just a card? That's unfortunate. I'm just trying to showcase these strategies. Oh, I forgot the sub-weapon disappears. Oh, should have gone back for it. Oh well, not a big deal. Just want to go on a killing spree with our weapon, chat. I don't care if it's efficient or not. This feels so good right now. This is probably the strongest I have ever been on any of my runs. I normally get like nothing. Okay, we'll take regular axe. This is fine. Oh, if I let go of jump a little sooner, that would have been perfect. Cheesecake. There's certainly a lot of cheese happening right now, I will agree. I probably could have done all rocks, actually. I'm not sure why I didn't do that. I guess I'm just tired. I feel like I make really bad decisions when tired, and I'm always tired. So we'll just do a normal route, I guess. I have enough money to check the shop. I picked up like 3 250 bags. It's not like the end of the world. Plus I just got money there. Not that I really need anything, unless there's like another Varda. Or a Mystic. Oh, I would take a Mystic Pendant, actually. Or a library card, I suppose. Let's use spells for the first time. We haven't seen them in a while. This entire time, I'm slowly regenning hearts, which is fantastic for Cubazoe. If I want to convert it to other things. Anyway, that's a nice little diversion from our normal killing. I suppose it would have been faster to Power of Sire, but I just wanted to just showcase the spells, so it's fine. Oh, this damage boost down. Game, please. Oops. I can feel the rust in my movement. It's fine. We'll get there eventually, that's all that matters. Okay, that was the first one that I did correctly. Better. Leap Stone, I'll take it. I mean, I was gonna do the library skip regardless to showcase it, but... a safety thing. Oops, I did the boost in the air to showcase that. I was hoping I would get up on the ledge, but I didn't guess the height correctly there. I guess I can unlock the entrance. Do you have to come back here eventually? Who knows? Maybe it's a Varda here. I'll take that health up, actually. That's fine. What? Sure, we'll take a Leap Stone. So technically I could in logic all rocks. I could climb the library since I'm here. The problem with doing it this way is that I don't have a way to get back into all rocks, because I don't have Jewel of Open. To at least go near Alchemy Lab or something. So it's just one of those things where I just need to sit there and stare at routing and memorize it so I don't have to think when tired. Like, I want it to be like muscle memory, what relic I should take when I have certain relics, but I'm not there yet, especially after taking a long break on a game I don't play that often. Aw, unfortunate relic choice there. I can use some spells there to clear them up. Let's go for the boost. Fine. I could have face planted there, but you get the idea. A wolf relic, I'll take that. Holding jump at the time.
I'm interested in...
Yeah, with Opal, I should be able to get basically anything I want. Fire Bat, sure, I'll purchase that. Library card for 8,000? I'll think about it. I do have mana prisms if I want infinite mana. Wow, this is such a loaded shop. It's actually a really tough call for me. There's a lot of things in here I want. Not really useful accessories. I guess the correct play would be library card.
Thank you.
Mana prism.
Thank you.
I would have liked the dragon helm, but I don't think it's more important than those items. So no miss. My spells do a bazillion damage, and I have infinite MP now. A little bit of face plant there. Fortunately, I don't have any missed relics to really showcase the fine-tuned movement. Oh, this damage boost. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, actually, I take that back. Damage boosting doesn't have reduced momentum. I have to correct my patch notes if I wrote that in there. So if you get struck, you still move the exact speed you move on the ground. So damage boosting is still pretty good. It will get better, though, if you have other relics. So I think I'm forced to go up here. And then I can go back to... I don't know why I went here. My brain was trying to process things. I'm basically just looking for Mist or Jewel. Can't get any checks here, which is unfortunate. Oh, I fell down there. That's also unfortunate. Try this again. Oh, can I not make that with Axe Armor? Hold on. The jump I don't think I've ever tried before. Oh, you barely can. Okay. It's like, I really don't want to go all the way around. Well, that was weird. I was holding jump, but he didn't jump there. Yeah, that time he jumped. Well, that's annoying. Well, I'm definitely punished for my routing, because I absolutely hate going this way in normal routing. In fact, I think this is the first time in 15 seeds that I've had to go through Clock Tower the intended way without flight. You've got to be kidding me. I bonked on the same spot again. Oh my gosh, I hate that enemy, chat. This isn't Rogue Legacy, the enemies respawn. Okay, let's just do this. That's good enough. This enemy needs to go away. Thank you. Also, that enemy's in my way now. Go away, please. You know what? I'm just gonna spend some MP. Get me out of here. Don't mess around with that anymore. I'm getting a little injured. I guess I can break my Subweapon if I want to. Think about it. Let me break the Subweapon, this is fun. Not like I won't get one back eventually anyway. Man, what I would have loved to have gravity boots for. Fine. Got through there eventually. No Subweapon, no Subweapon. No Subweapon. No Subweapons at all there, unfortunate. Interest. Oh, new Subweapon. Nice. Now we get to show it off. Oh, and a heart refresh. I have infinite hearts if I want to showcase Subweapons, I guess. Here we go, Holy Water. Do me proud. Oh, I forgot I have a Mana Prism on. That was a mistake. Never mind. Can't do me proud. Just kill him. Downside of putting a consumable on your offhand, you can't use Subweapons. That does have a drawback. Rest in peace, Holy Water. You would have been perfect on that fight. But Power Sire, you're just too strong right now. Speaking of which... I think it might actually be worth doing a boosted jump here. This is fine. I'm gonna take it nice and slow so I don't have to do awkward platforming. Oh, my reward was Bat? Okay, this is perfect then. So I could recover my bad routing by going to, what's it called? Entrance now. And I got missed? Aw. I got everything I wanted. And more. Well, I guess I will use the Wolf Speed. And I'm gonna go ahead and burn our hearts so I could get more MP. Again, MP conversion super good. I got Skill of Wolf, which is amazing. Since I don't need hearts right now, or if I want to, I could just do this. And burn it again. I got a Jewel Knuckle, potentially. I really want to show it off. The heart refresh is also like a Mana Prism now. I didn't really think about that before. But hey, I guess that works. That's kind of nice. I'm sure chat would like that. Mana Prism actually good? Question mark? What? There we go. Getting a little extra MP for later. So I could save split this. If I want to play semi-seriously, I think I probably should. If entrance is nothing, I could just come back here. I have a lot of MP at least. I could check what this item is quickly. Nothing useful. If it was a Varda, you never know. So let's go ahead and spend all of our MP to maintain flight. Hidden room toggled. That's fine. We don't need to check that out. Hard. No. Hey, even better to use that MP conversion if you think you're gonna soft reset anyway. New strategies, chat. So I'm gonna take Alchemy, then I'm gonna go to All Rocks, I guess. Because I still don't have Jewel. And I get all the checks along the way, which isn't too shabby. So this should be the only time I have to come back here. Since if I go to Catacombs, I can library out if I really want to. And at any point I can go back to library. So if I'm at the end of All Rocks, if I go to Silver Ring, I can library card from Silver Ring to go to library. Check the miss check. Oh, nothing there. That's unfortunate. Then check I get Spire a Bat. And then hopefully one of those locations has Jewel. I mean, imagine it shouldn't be too unlikely for me to go that long without receiving it, but you never know. So I guess it really just depends on where this Jewel is. It has to be before All Rocks, though. A Merman. It's useful later. Because I'm very gradually running out of checks. I've done the entrance stuff. Another duplicator? Silliness, chat. Absolute silliness. I do want to showcase Holy Water, even if it's not efficient, because I have Power of Sire duplicated with Barda. Which, as you can see, perfect example. The consumable weapons are very good. So there you go, Calvation. Remember that for the future. A random Masamune? Sure. Don't really need it at the moment, though. Smoothly glide on in. Oh, I need to go slower here. I'm actually going to drop down. Yeah, the throw weapons with Duplicator are so sick. There's Jewel of Open. Okay, I can do everything now. Awesome. Some kind of ring. I didn't see what it was. Life Apple. Don't care about that. Listen, chat. We're not going to die unless I do Blind Bat, which I don't think it really matters anymore. I have regular Bat and Miss. I should be fine. So, access to Bat actually paid off for doing a route I don't like doing. I guess this is greedy to do, but I'm still gonna check the wall here. I just figured since there's so many items here, might as well check. An elixir? Okay. So if I do mess up Blind Bat, I have an easy out. It's a little better than I think High Potion. Fine, I think. I thought about saving there, and I'm like, no, actually, I don't need to. That was a needed save. I forgot I had this already. Well, I guess I'm definitely not needing to do Blind Bat by now. So I'm gonna warp out of Silver Ring no matter what, so I guess we're good to go. I just do the route as normal. The kicky feet there. Rest in peace. Okay, while I'm sliding here, I'm gonna consume the hearts. So I can help with the flight section. So keep in mind, chat, I have the heart refresh on, so I can actually use this as a pseudo mana prism. A reminder, speaking of which. So at any point that I'm not in this flight mode where I'm face planning, I could just recast the heart refresh. I need to wait a little longer. Like right here might be good, yeah. Okay. Still got a good amount of MP. Let's hopefully do the Holy Water strat on him. We'll showcase it, and then we'll just kill him with Power of Sire, chat. Slightly out of range. Good idea, though. We'll get another chance. Do it right here, I think. 3 damage. Oh, I forgot. Heart refresh was the one. Damn. Oh well, I messed up again, but it's fine. We got Power Sire. Power Sire, you're so good to me. It, like, wore off a cooldown by, like, a quarter of a second, chat. It was pretty close. It's pretty close. If I hesitated a little less, I think I could have gotten it out while Art refresh was still there. That slid me backwards. That was very weird. I've never seen that before. Have you seen that before, chat? I was holding left, but I went right for some reason. It was interesting. Okay, just click through there like it's not there. It's fine. Guess I'll leave heart refresh on. It's fine. Use that to get some speed. Power of Bluff. Amazing find. So again, this new conversion system, I think, really rewards players for kind of playing with the mechanics. I am not gonna lie to you, chat, I totally forgot where Silver Ring was. I think it's above, right? It just shows, like... I did think about it. I don't have Spike Breaker, but this should still be fine. Hi, Maria. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Silver Ring.
So, did you find Richter?
I did find Richter. If I had not let go of Flight there, I could have actually skipped her entirely. But it's fine. We're not gonna redo it to showcase it. I think chat gets the point. Speaking of getting the point, go ahead and damage boost out of here. Use library card, actually. I thought about if I wanted to kill the boss just because. I don't feel like doing the boss. I thought about it, chat. I got bonked on library card. Thank you, game. There we go. The effect didn't go off because I was in between doorways, but I still got the hearts. Which is kind of a nice thing about the changed weapons there. Yeah, I don't have Power of Mist to go faster with normal Mist, but Flight is still my fastest option between the two of them. We'll do the fire. I think it's called Fire a Bat. I will one day learn what that does. Also, rest in peace, Holy Water. Fine, we'll get new sub-weapons. Holy Water is also pretty good against Cerberus, but again, our weapons are just so nonsense right now that it really doesn't matter. Oh, oops, I thought it was in this form. My bad. Constant regen. Although I don't have Gas Cloud, so I only got 56 MP out of that, so that wasn't the best. So Gas Cloud, definitely a big find. I don't care where it is, we're keeping it. Hello, Wormhole. Hope you're doing well today. Gravity Boots. Okay, well now I have a super easy way to skip things if I wanted. I think it's faster to do this than the library card. I don't normally do that. This feels faster. So I want to go potentially all the way down there. Oh, I could do the library check since I'm here. Think about that. Too much momentum. Good luck. I think we're fine. We got all the luck in the beginning, so it's pretty much a guaranteed win. It would be pretty much impossible for me to die unless I'm really not paying attention. I have a duplicator, I have Power of Sire, I have an elixir. So there's really no excuse if I die. That could just wave their finger at me. Like, what were you doing? Speaking of what are you doing? Look at that movement speed maintained. Oh, I'm so sorry, Archdemon. We're too powerful. We're too powerful. I can't be stopped, chat. Oh, mandatory relic, nice. Love to see it. So I'm spending MP there to go faster. I'm actually gonna land here just so I can use the heart refresh to go faster to get more MP. See, chat, it's all in the cards. Now I don't have to start for the save room. By the time I run out of MP, I should be able to get hearts. I didn't think about if I did that check up there or not. I think it was just a card. Ooh, not quite enough for another MP boost. This is fine. I guess we go underground. We can go pay Succubus a visit. I want to try getting there without using Flight, just to showcase that there are skips possible for people that haven't seen it before. with the new axe armor. I have gravity boots, so I have everything I need to not need make that save. I'd like to showcase it for people that haven't seen it. Using the tech skill there just to get through that room faster. With Subweapon, finally. I'll take that. Give it. There we go. There we go. And we picked up a dagger while getting all my hearts back. Perfect. Nothing of interest down there. That's a shame. Okay, let's use the MP conversion to go fast. Bonked a little bit there. I thought about using ashes, but it's fine. Maybe we'll... I'm not gonna pick it up. It's fine. I did not mean to go in there. Oh yeah, I'm just curious, how easy is this with just doing this? Okay, with Form of Mist, it's free. Okay, with Form of Mist, that's free. That is way easier than the normal strategy. I'm not gonna bother checking those. We have everything we need. So that also deals with kind of a trickier skip, because normally you have to kind of walk into the wall to build momentum, but the fact that I have Form of Mist and go upwards slightly, pretty much good to go. Go to this briefly. Oh. I'm so sorry, Succubus. We just do too much damage. We have the equivalent of Chrysogrim for the thrown weapons, so it's pretty much GG. There's pretty much nothing they can do. I guess I can use my dagger there to check some items on the way out. Some kind of armor. Don't think I want it. An MP to go fast. Nice. I'm gonna let go of flight so I can fast fall. Through the platform with fast fall. Fight Scylla. Ooh, not quite enough to one-shot. It's pretty close, though. Accidentally gravity jumped. I'm so sorry, Scylla. I didn't even reach you with melee. You're just dead that quickly. Another Vlad relic. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad we're taking a little detour through the castle, since it seems to have completely paid off so far. Oh. Did I soft block myself because I went too fast? That is so unfortunate. When was the last time I saved? Oh, SotN. This isn't even a bug specific to Mayhem. This is something that can happen in vanilla SotN. How do I get past this without going all the way back to God only knows when I saved? I think I killed the run. Is there a way for me to get past this? Maybe. We're gonna have to be creative. One second. Let me turn this off. Let's see if this works. Ooh, it's still on. Okay, let me close it entirely then. Oh, SotN. Oh, does that not work? Oh, that really doesn't work? There's the float value, that's fine. Huh. I thought that would work. Put it to like... No, that doesn't work either. Huh. I'm soft lock, chat, so I can't do anything. I went too quickly through that room. That sucks. Welcome to SotN, chat. Can I force myself out of this with Mayhem? Let me think about this. I was trying to go through the wall with speed, but it's not activating. Oh wait, no, I have a library card. Hold on. Or I could rewind. Let me see if rewind works with no restrictions. Okay, that's fine. We got through. I really did not want to go all the way back to the library. So that's unfortunate. That kind of stalled our run a bit. Still probably faster than me using the library card and coming all the way back here. Unfortunate, but hey, we got through it. That's all that matters. So I'm gonna have to keep that in mind if I ever want to do racing with it again. I have to go slower in that room. I mean, I guess it's a good thing. I think that was the first time I've ever soft blocked myself in that room. I haven't even done that with vanilla Alucard. Fortunately, all the relics are messed up. Let me do this to try to fix them. There we go. Good enough. It says I don't have the rings, but we'll be putting them on soon enough. Okay, let's use some speed here. Nothing there, but I figure we move fast enough, I don't think it's worth the reset. As I don't bonk too much, I don't feel like it's that much slower. Yeah, especially gravity boots there. They have a lot of time. I will, however, touch that save point for MP. Notice I'm very drastically low. Let's get flying. There was another library card and a diamond. Would have been kind of sick normally. Is that a meal ticket? I think it's a meal ticket. I think I actually know how to tell the difference between meal tickets and library cards. I didn't really think about that before. Oh, maybe not. Oh, it was also a meal ticket. Maybe. I guess it was flickering before, that's why I thought it was different. I guess that's normal behavior. We'll do this. We're gonna dunk on the boss here. We'll do ice. Oh, it messed up the colors because I reset it in a weird way. Oh well. Our ice fireballs are now rainbow. We'll just have to live with it, chat. Oops. Oh, Power of Mist. Nice. I can finally go super fast now. Oh, look at that speed. Yeah, that's much faster, chat. That is much faster. Oh, that already feels much better. Thank you, Power of Mist. You're actually good. Get our hearts back here as well. I am moving so fast, I'm actually bonking unintentionally. That's interesting. The downside of Power Mist, I suppose. Alright, so normally you need Spike Breaker to go through here. You could go through a couple different ways. Like the intended ways, you kind of use Mist, you take it slow. The other way is if you face plant along the ground and then you gravity jump, you face plant at the top, you fall, you face plant, then you feel for the gap there, then you gravity boots. You bonk there, it's fine. It just makes it even easier to clear. And you're through there. No flight needed at all. Regular Spike Breaker. Grand Balloon is nothing. I have library cards, so this is probably fine. Notice I'm kind of low on MP and hearts. Oh, I do have refresh on. Just wanted to double check. A little bit of MP there. Damage boost. Go this way. Let's recover our MP. There. See, this is where I would have liked to have used the ashes just to showcase it. But I don't think we'll get lucky enough to get a sub-weapon here. Nah. No luck. Oh well, I tried. Probably do something like a slow-moving spell here. Yeah. Good enough. Oh, Power Sire, you're so good. No matter what, we're gonna library card this. Oh, I forgot to check, That's awkward, I forgot to do one check. I think I have to go back for it. I wasn't thinking. I skipped one check at the, end of the Ferryman. I got distracted by getting locked out with library card. I'm actually gonna go back for MP here then, since I didn't intend on doing this flight. But we'll make that one check. Speaking of which. Knowing my luck, it would be a Vlad Relic. Anyway, I guess we'll showcase the good movement. Would've. Okay. Wasn't too bad. Get some parts back here. The more I level, the more the art refresh helps me with MP, ironically. Also, I was mashing gravity jump there. I don't know why I did that. I shouldn't have done that. We'll go with the slow way then. Need to make sure I have enough MP to get the MP conversion, so I'm gonna wait just a little bit longer. I think I'm gonna use it now. Yeah, that should be fine. Not super ideal, but I sort of recovered it. Yeah, now we're good, we're good. I don't have to go to a save room anymore, because I've overflowed MP. Perfect. Yeah, I don't think I checked what was over here. I just went right to the waterfall. I meant to do that before going there, but I was distracted. Okay, good speed, good speed. Perfect. Oh, it's just Holy Symbol. A bit disappointing. I'm gonna go ahead and use one of our many library cards. Where's Power Sire? There we go. I think that's full passive clear. Unless I'm really forgetting something. It's fine. All we gotta do is reach Richter. And we'll, I guess, complete the seed at this rate. Speaking of which, look how fast I go when I let go of the flight button. So this is with flight, without flight. I just zip along. I'll go this way. So yeah, as long as I'm willing to sacrifice my sub-weapon, I could basically maintain flight for quite a while. Oh, I forgot. There's somewhere I have to go first. Before we do Richter, gotta go pick up Holy Glasses. That would probably help. Shows how not awake I am, chat. I was literally ready to go fight Richter. That's fine. We're just gonna zip on out. I'm doing this without the flight. Wow, that movement speed is so fast. A little hard to control, but you know what? We always like a little bit of a challenge. Just slide around at the speed of sound. It's fine. Silver and gold. And in the middle, put on our Barda, which is ridiculous. So one of our duplicators. Regen some MP by standing still. Regen some hearts for later. which also become MP. Now I've got a good conversion ratio thanks to Gas Cloud. That is 4 MP via hearts I could use later. So I have everything I need at this point. Once we get Holy Glasses, we're just gonna go to Second Castle. Despite the weird hiccup of the soft lock via vanilla, I think we're fine. Gravity boot jumps there, since it's still the fastest way to go vertically, even if you bonk. MP-wise, we're still basically at full. Getting a few extra hearts for later. I'd actually like a Subweapon for Richter. Preferably like the stopwatch, which we haven't seen, but... Aw, I was hoping it would be right there. It would have been so convenient. Can you imagine? So I would have had just enough hearts to do the Richter fight. I don't think there were any interesting Subweapons on the way there. Yeah, there's just... And I'll double check, because I know there's a couple of handles. I'll take a small detour just to look. Darn. So we'll be at like 40-ish hearts by the time we reach Richter, which I could still use to destroy the shaft orb faster. Because it is pretty cheap and it is in the air. Oh, I see the tracker has loaded stuff in. I'm pretty sure we checked everything here. I'm gonna go ahead and ignore those. I think it's because I reset the tracker mid-run. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got everything. Yeah, I even got the check that was up here. Pretty sure. I mean, I could double check the items, but I'm pretty sure I got it. It was like a familiar or something. Just double check since the tracker's all messed up. I remember the jewel knuckle. Oh, it wasn't. Never mind. I remember. No. Oh well. More importantly, any sub-weapons? Aw, can you imagine? I mean, I'll do it with the regular one, don't get me wrong. It should still be fine. Didn't need it, never mind. Never mind, wasn't needed. Power Sire, too good, chat. Speaking of which, I wonder how much MP I can get stored up at this rate. So we're gonna move forward, not go anywhere. We're gonna fly briefly, and then I'm gonna spend the MP. That way during the cutscene I can regen. Because during this freeze frame, I'm actually gaining hearts. I gain an extra heart there, nice. Any last minute weapons before I do any other bosses? It'd be nice if I showcase more sub-weapons. No? Go say hi to Darkwing Bat and destroy him almost instantly. Which, something like this. Oh, it actually missed him by 1 hit. Oh, that's a shame. If I hadn't gotten struck there, I think it would have hit enough times. Gonna wait for the item, regen some hearts. Glad Relic. So I'm pretty tanky now. I think that offsets the duplicator. Fly through there. I shouldn't have a reason to come back, but just in case something weird happened, I'll do this. Just want to see if these have sub-weapons. Unfortunate. A lot of MP it restored in between. Interesting. Hello, Medusa. Wow, she got deleted, actually. Oh, no, it's Devil. Really won you right now. What's our defense at, by the way? 14? That's actually not bad. Actually not bad at all. I'll take that. Oh, Subweapons finally? Nice. I could sacrifice that to get Axe. I definitely think it's worth it, given how much MP that just gave us. Build some things with Kicky Feet for more XP. I do think it's worth trying to kill the Panthers for XP. Quite a bit. We're just gonna take our opportunity to do Invincibility Play. I know it's slower than Gravity Boots, but fine. Now we have a weapon to use against Akbadon, who doesn't really need a sub-weapon, but is what it is. Oh, Bible! Hey! Perfect weapon to show off once I stop using the heart refresh. We're just gonna fall here without using this. Hopefully by the time I reach the boss, I should be able to activate Bible. Indeed I can. Thank you, Bible. Free extra damage, I'm not gonna say no. I'll hold still, just because I get more MP this way. He was absolutely nothing. Beautiful. Thank you, Bible. Bible will actually be pretty useful if I end up having to fight Beelzebub. Or if I do stuff like this, it can just do damage while going past them. That also works. Life max, we'll take that. Oh, I destroyed my Bible by accident. Whoops. Get some free kills on the way up. And look, I can even do item checks. Thanks to Bible. Thanks, Bible. Don't really want Thunderbrand, but we'll take it. Okay, Bible wore off, I sacrificed all my hearts, but we should be fine. Ideally here I'd find an Aguni or a Stopwatch, as they're pretty good against Trio. Not quite the right angle. There we go. Wow, that actually killed him straight up. Thank you, Bible. You actually hit stunned him. So even though it doesn't do the best damage, that stun luck potential is insane. Oh, fairy card. Boo. Don't want to see you. Again, I shouldn't really die with 253 health. And Varda. Not gonna say it's impossible, but... I got my dash momentum at a weird time there. Oh, actually, this one will be interesting. So now, I want to do this. I can lower my speed slightly if I want to. Yeah, let's do that. And speed up right there. Okay, so there's kind of like a pattern for it, I guess. So I have to choose whether or not to hold the square button to speed up or let go in order to get better angles, which is kind of interesting. We're gonna go ahead and just kill everything. Ooh, a dagger was there? I could have replaced. What? Okay, that was interesting. I was not expecting that. I'm not really sure what happened there. Might be a side effect of letting you use flight. Might have changed directions in the air. Thank you, Bible. I was gonna say, you'll help with killing the flies. Hello, Mina. Hope you're doing well. Also, forgot to remark to Mass TTD earlier, but also welcome Mass TTD. The new Bible looks crazy. It's pretty fun. So we could keep it perpetually out by using the flight here. So we could use MP to basically have this up almost all the time. So it will destroy everything as we go through these hallways. So all those bitter flies, tell them to get wrecked, chat. We care not for them. You can see it persists across different ones. Level for axe armors, more axes. Exactly. I'm gonna consume my MP there. Or not MP, my hearts. We're gonna go along the ceiling here. What I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna put heart refresh on briefly, so I can get my hearts back. I accidentally consumed Bible. That was a mistake. Rip Bible. We'll go this way. Do my MP, or consume my hearts so I get more MP. So during this stage transition, I should get a ton of MP, speaking of which. We'll see if we can get another weapon. Look around. Aw, nothing. Well, I guess I'll save split creature, it's fine. So yeah, this new patch, we're just testing out new weapons, seeing how things feel. We have new things to speed you up in the air. You can convert hearts into MP. You can convert MP into speed. You can convert the subweapon into hearts. So there's a lot of potential strategy with this. Looking to see if I could get an easy subweapon, but it looks like it's not there. Unfortunate. It also means that heart refresh is actually useful, because I can use that as like a pseudo mana prism. Kind of neat. Because it'll give me 150 hearts, and those 150 hearts I could consume for 150 MP. So I could kind of choose what I want to use it for. Like, let me let go of flight button here. Yeah, there we go. That was the strategy. Unless I get a crazy sub-weapon here, we'll probably reset if this is not it. I mean, I could just throw off a regular axe, it's fine. Oh, power of Sire, Varda. You never cease to amuse me. Life Max. Can't have that, chat. Disgusting. I just need one Vlad relic. We're doing in the in-game save time. 52, it's a bit slow. Although, then again, we did get stuck for like 3 minutes due to soft locking ourselves at Scylla. I guess that kind of makes sense. I'm gonna check this for a sub-weapon, just in case. Nope. Not rewarded. Actually, let me do gravity jumps since I can reach the top faster. Okay, we'll do this. I'm gonna save here. I'm gonna do whatever that is normally, reverse merman or whatever. We're gonna do that first. If it's nothing, I'm resetting so I don't lose all my MP. This is kind of an annoying flight area. Which... Go fast. Unless it's the relic, I guess we'll find out. Oh, it is the last Vlad. Well, okay, there we go. What are the prompts up there for? Because I reset, it's just telling you every benefit I have from our relics. So, for example, regen hearts is from the Vlad relic, as well as Scuba Zoe. The bone, the Ripa Vlad or whatever it is, gives 8 defense. Tooth of Vlad gives extra damage. So every relic does a lot more than vanilla. You know what, chat? I'm feeling generous. Let's just kill all the bosses. We're here, might as well as. Does so much damage. Oh, he actually dodged that. What a god. Anyway. Oh, that didn't actually kill him. What, am I off by like 1 hit? Oh, 2 hits. Oh, I did less than I thought then. I guess I am not multi-hitting, I suppose. Get out of here. I just want to see what the other relics are. The whole point of this run is not to win, but just to show off items, so I'm fine with just killing all bosses at this point. I think I skipped 1 boss of Hippogriff, but it's kind of whatever. It's just Hippogriff. mean, chat would rather me fight Galamoth over Hippogriff, let's be honest. So let's go kill Galamoth. I'm gonna burn my heart so I get more MP. 150 MP there is kind of big. Looking to see if I can get another sub-weapon. Ooh, no sub-weapons so far. Kind of unlucky. Like, I actually feel like sub-weapons are useful even if you don't want to use them for their intended purpose. Unlucky. Okay, I guess there's no more sub-weapons in the castle, chat. Fine, we'll just move on. Would have been nice to showcase them on death or whatever, but it's fine. It'd be fun seeing Galamoth shredded by axe armor. Yeah, he should be pretty fast to kill. I have a very strong pairing. Like, I have 121 attack on a quadra hit weapon. So I basically have super powered Chrysogram at the moment. So they should all die pretty quickly. I'm mostly just looking for sub-weapons to troll. Or I guess if chat wants me to, I could just summon a sub-weapon. I won't use it on death though. Let's just kill him legit. Expected blue axe armor being Doppel. Something like that. Yeah, like, you see how much that hits for? They're so dead. No, death. You will die. Listen, this weapon cares not for what you want. It says we're missing a bat one, but that can't be possible. I think I just didn't reset it properly. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, I had all the bat relics. Or death. I guess to make it more fair, I could get rid of Power of Sire for the boss, because it is really powerful, as I said before. We got, like, one of the luckiest seed starts we could have asked for axe armor, so I should have been done with the seed, like, 20 minutes ago or more, for sure. We're just messing around. We get a witch. Goodbye, my MP. Not use that properly. Ooh. Ran out of MP yet again. Fine, though. That's enough MP? Yeah, it is. Nice. We're back, chat. We're back. No more awkward, no MP. We're good. In fact, I'm gonna sacrifice our MP again. Or our hearts, I mean. I want that MP back. Last minute sub-weapons for Galamoth? No sub-weapons for Galamoth? Whatever. Whatever weapons we don't end up showcasing, I guess we'll go fight Galamoth again. So I'll make another save state somewhere, just to fight him over and over. This is kind of like the perfect setup for testing, honestly. Make a nice little save here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna overwrite one of the save states that I have. I just want to see which one is my normal Galamoth one. Normal one is F5. I think this is the one we were on. Yep. Just ignore that, chat. I'm just cycling through things. No sub-weapon. Okay, if I don't have a super OP weapon, let's say Thunderbrand, I'll remove Duplicator, make it a bit more fair. What I do in my offhand, I guess I would do Luminous for these. There's also just straight up Masamune. I mean, I could just Masamune him again. Again, we have like ridiculous items. I don't even know how else to describe it other than ridiculous. So unfair, chat. Alright, let's fight him sort of legit, I guess. We'll start off with some spells just to weaken him a little. Go for his feet. We'll respect that. We'll respect that. We're out of there. Give him some time. I'll use some spells on him, though, while he's coming back. Don't you bonk me. Use your... Yeah, there we go. Bait his lightning attack. That's not what I meant to do. He's almost dead, actually. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna speed through him, it's fine. Crouch. Oh, I didn't need to crouch there, actually. Oh, he's walking backwards towards me menacingly. Can't get over the slide. He's doing that attack, which is unfortunate. There we go. Once he does that attack, he's kind of free. Wasn't too bad. This is not full HP Galma, obviously, but still pretty quick. I mean, that's what happens when you have a Varda and, like, pretty good weapons that double hit. Still melts him. Hopefully chat enjoyed that quick murder. But oh yeah, if we had our Power of Siron, it would have just been so beyond GG, it's not even funny. In fact, if I wanted to do more damage, I would keep my Luminous on, which I might do. Put a Duplicator on, why not? Enjoy our little health up. The Dracula stands no chance, Shaft stands no chance. We're at, like, the pinnacle of power. The only way we could be even stronger is if we got another Vardas from somewhere. Oh, Ashes. Too bad that doesn't really work on any of the upcoming bosses. That's a shame. I guess we'll showcase it briefly. I can just dump items downwards while flying. Kind of amusing. But if I don't like the sub-weapon, I can sacrifice it to the gods, like I just did there. And now that gave me regenning hearts, which is useful, because that gives me more MP. So I could use that to kind of refill if I want to. I'm gonna sacrifice our 21 hearts as well. And we're gonna sacrifice our sub-weapon again for even more MP. Might notice a pattern here, chat. I'm gonna be purposely destroying our items as much as possible. I think it's the strategy for going fast, for sure. Keep going. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't take too long just to showcase Galamoth. Might as well do it. Just kill them with kicky feet, it's fine. Broken graphic there for a moment, that was interesting. This should be the warp, right? I have not played this game in so long. I'm like, I already forgot stuff, chan. So I think... Yeah, we did get the other warp. Good, good. So we could just go straight to Dracula now. That momentum going. Use a little bit of speed there on purpose. Sacrifice our hearts. Check for one last time for a sub-weapon. It'd be nice to showcase more against bosses. Maybe we'll come back and just defeat Dracula on a different save file with different weapons. Not like I don't have a million save states to test that. I attacked before gaining momentum, therefore I didn't get any momentum. Classic. Yeah, this should be a very quick fight. And I think because it's going to be so fast, we're going to try a few different sub-weapons to end the stream. I have a hard cutoff in about 25 minutes. But I think we got to showcase a lot today. Hopefully chat has been entertained by the slides and all the nonsense going on screen. So we've definitely showcased sacrificing sub-weapons. Oh, almost off myself there again. I need to disable being able to slide through there. I think that's what the issue is. I need to set wolf speed to 0 when you touch that. I'm gonna put one more safety check, I think, at some point into that elevator, and only that elevator has that problem, by the way. But everything else I think is pretty good. Sorry, Shaft, you are super dead. Oh, if he didn't hit me there, there we go. Could have killed him in just 2 weapon swings with a good quadra hit. So we have a ton of MP, decent amount of hearts in case I need emergency MP. Should be good. We're regenerating a lot of hearts from the Vlad as well as Cuba Zoe. The Mist Relics mean that I have good conversion and speed while doing the slides. Bat Relics improve my spells. I might use spells here. I haven't seen spells in a while. I do want to fly upwards first, though.
Behold thy true form!
he might get one cycled here. Our damage is kind of crazy right now. Yep, wow, he got destroyed, chat. GG. Oh, that is so powerful. I'll just walk off into the sunset. So easy win. Love to see it, chat. But anyway, let's go test some sub-weapons out. Let's do some what-if scenarios. Let's take a look at our stats. Our stats are pretty high, but not anything too phenomenal. But I want to showcase the different weapons. So what we're going to do is we're going to cheat. I feel like my int is a little too high for this. I think the damage might be a little exaggerated. 76 int is very high for that level. 60 int is still kind of high even for that level. We rolled insane getting here. Let's see, where is it at? One moment, chat. Okay, so if we toggle, he's going to be outside of the end cutscene. Unfortunately, it is just Alucard. Ooh, why is that? Oh, it is working. So we'll fight him with just Dagger, for example. We'll start with Dagger. I think I've strategy this before. If I just really want to wreck him, I can just wail on him with all these spells. This is my favorite. Oh, we almost got him in the infinite. He broke out, chat. That actually would have infinited him. So close. We're just showcasing what a more realistic fight would be. Oh, he's doing that attack. I'll respect that. I know with fireballs, though, while we are rudely waiting. Okay, there we go. That wasn't too bad. Oh, I love it flickering, because it's trying to do all the loading. We'll kill the tracker. It's fine. We don't need to see the tracker. That way it does that a bit less. We killed him with Dagger. Let's see how Axe does against him. We taunt on him. Axe is pretty good. He takes reduced damage from sub-weapons, but that doesn't entirely help him, to be honest with you. We're gonna slide on out of there. Let's get out of there. We did the attack I wanted, but I reacted poorly to it. Yeah, I mostly have Galamoth figured out as Axe Armor. It's kind of free once you can bait that one attack. You just have to stand a certain distance from him, and he'll almost always do it. Like, he should do it right now, yeah. So once you realize that's how his AI works, you just kind of abuse him. There we go, killed him with the axe. Good final hit. Let's showcase some new weapons. So axe works like that. We got Holy Water, which is kind of sick for people that haven't seen it. Let's go ahead and throw it. Look at that damage. Ooh, he's getting wrecked by Holy Water. Holy Water is so good, chat. Look at that damage. Time to get wrecked. Oh, wow. Nope. Holy Water, we might have to tune down a little bit. Jeez, Holy Water. Calm down a little bit. Oh, Holy Water. Yeah, we're gonna make that hit a little less. Poor Galamoth, chat. He stood no chance against Holy Water. Rip. Let's do regular cross, I guess. Yeah, that's more realistic. That's more realistic. Yeah, we gotta fine tune how quickly it hits, I think. It's fine. They're all new weapons. Oh, goodbye, our sub-weapon. Ooh, we did use the spells there just to get more damage out of them. Cross can be spaced for more hits. Yeah, that's definitely the intent with it. Like, if you throw it from here, it'll stop a certain distance and then go backwards. And it hits a fairly decent amount of times. It's very strong against Dracula. So we're gonna nerf Holy Water a little bit. Thinking we'll add some frames. So, you know. I mean, it is fun. It is really fun, but I don't want it to be that strong. Subweapon, its interval is currently 10. I'm gonna bump it to 12. I'm not gonna do anything too drastic, but just a little tiny bit to make it a bit more fair, because Axe already hits quite a lot. I don't care if Cross hits like that, because Cross isn't gonna have 4 axes at once. So we'll nerf Holy Water just a teeny tiny bit. See how we feel about it. Speaking of which, where is Holy Water in the list? You hear ha ha ha. Oh. Oh no, that's fine. There it is. We'll put 12 frames. So he'll live for 2 more frames, chat. Let's showcase some other weapons. We saw Cross. We saw Bible already, but we'll do Bible again. It's a fan favorite. Just look at this, chat. So, as I said before, if you want to do the flying strategy, you can wreck him with Bible. Just showcasing, like, the damage here is kind of silly. So, just give him all sorts of flashing color warnings. It's fine. There we go. So with Kicky Feet, Bible pretty good against Galma. So we'll probably give him a little more health now that we've improved the damage of the character. It's like a teeny bit more. Let's see, what else can we showcase? Ooh, Stopwatch. Ooh, this one's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna try to bait him and then do it while I'm in between his legs. Let's do this. Oh, I got too close, so we meleeed. Yeah, there we go. I accidentally slid out of range. That's fine. We can still do the same kind of thing with Bible. It does a ton of damage. Damage pretty good. I love the triple axe. It'll basically freeze it in the center of the screen, so it'll semi-travel with us. But if we go too far over to the side, it won't do anything. I could do something like this. Poor Galma. Looks like the clock item crash, but they don't shoot. Something like that. So every single one of these sub-weapons does different damage types, so there's a little bit of strategy involved. This one I think will end up being the fan favorite. We're gonna do Rebalance Stone, so if you haven't seen it, good luck, Alma. Good luck, Alma. Oh, they got stuck on the edge. We gotta fine-tune it a little more so it doesn't do that, but it's still pretty fun. Thank you, Rebound Stone. Oh, you're destroying him. Man, he's so easy to multi-hit. Speaking of which. Screensaver attack, exactly. So yeah, there's like a little bit of a... SotN is weird. The edge of the screen is not 0. That's why it's a little confused there, so I gotta fine-tune it a bit more. But basically, you can just have it bounce around. It'll behave normally. Now, what's interesting is because the axe doesn't start in the same position when thrown, because SotN, it actually makes them look a bit more varied, which I kind of like, and I don't feel like correcting. If you're wondering why the axes aren't lined up with each other, it's because the actual position of the axe is like slightly off-center, and it could be at a random part of its animation when it spawns in. So it'll slowly desync. It's kind of interesting. You see how it's already kind of desynced? See what I mean? It's weird. Touch of Spirit, but it doesn't end. Yeah, if you do the face plant, you can kind of bring him alongside. I'm gonna make sure to give it a bit more leniency on the left hand so it bounces better. So that's just some small notes I'll take before I fully release this. So I'll just say, Rebound Stone left wall needs more pixel leniency. That should be good. Why do you have to fall over to HP up like that? I'm dying. It's definitely meant to be kind of a funny thing for sure. That was one of the happy little accidents while we were coding, where I found it. I was trying to see like if I can give myself iframes via unconventional methods. So I was like, what happens if I put myself into like a certain state? What happens? And so like if you put yourself in the getting hit state while you're doing an animation, it just loops the animation. So you'll do things like the kicky feet in the air, or you'll do the face plant where you angle downwards. But depending on how you do it, you could fall over like this. Because it's just copying his walking animation, which is quite amazing. So I'm like, I'm gonna leave that as is. I'm definitely never going to change that. And finally, I think we have... Oh no, we still have more weapons. We got ashes. So let's introduce the old Galma to Death from Above. Unfortunately, I'm kind of high off screen, so I don't think I can multi-hit him there. That's unfortunate. So if only I can hit him a bit easier. Ashes are going to be very situational. They cost like no hearts, so I think it's fair enough. If I'm like right on him, I think it'll still hit. Jeez. Yeah, like it'll still hit it like point blank, but it's pretty tricky to use comparatively. It's meant to be weak. You can see like I could get some damage if I'm really careful. I might offset it to be slightly forward to make it a bit easier to use. Oh, I should have crouched that, actually. Let's see. Kind of whatever I feel like at the time. Yeah, I think putting it slightly further... Oh, we got the stun lock. Alright, do your little dance, Galamoth. It's fine. I'm gonna sacrifice my hearts for MP. Oh, I thought it was closer to killing him than that. Uh-oh. Oh, it's fine. He did that attack again. Okay, how much health was I off? I thought I did more than that. I think this will reach, so I'll just hold still to get some hearts and MP. There we go. I can't believe that hit me, actually. Oh, seriously, he's still alive? Wow. Unlucky. There we go. So Ash is not a good matchup for that. But here's another one that'll be kind of fun. We got a Goonie, aka the Fly Swatter. Look at that damage. Sorry for the flashes, chat. Oh, Goonie, you're so good. Are you stun locking him, a Goonie? Oh, Goonie. You don't have to stun lock him for me. But I appreciate it. So it'll heat seek onto the nearest target, and that happens to be the big boss. He's getting chopped, chat. Unfortunately, his normal hitbox is kind of high. We'll give it a little bit of an assistance there. So it doesn't do a ton of damage, but it does heat seek, which is kind of nice. If there's no target, it'll go to you, and it'll just look for a kill. So it's kind of like a Goonie after you tag with the Goonie. I figured it was close enough. So there's a good showcase of all the weapons. Oh, I guess I never showcased no sub-weapon. The no sub-weapon is actually a weapon. Very slow-moving axe. So very slow, not meant to be used in too many scenarios. Give them some time. Makes a monster death cry while it was hitting. It was definitely shredding him, for sure. The balance is that it is destroyed by enemies with high defense. But overall, pretty useful. It'll like insta-kill the Medusa heads, which is kind of sick. Oops, I got bopped. I think we'll just kill him with good old-fashioned mist at this point. We got enough MP, we're fine. He's doing a little dance. There we go. So just proving the Kicky Feet / Gas Cloud is still pretty strong. But we'll probably bump his health just a tiny bit more for the next release. Just a little bit. Like, granted, as I said before, I'm at 72 int, which is kind of high. My strength is kind of low, but I'm also wielding double Medusa shield, which is Iron Shield, so that's kind of to be expected. You know, it kind of is what it is there. I'm not even fighting him with a real weapon. I could do, like, Ice Brand or... Actually, you know what's kind of sad? Oh, that's Red Rust, but it's Nunchucks. Nunchuck's actually pretty good, this version, unlike normal Nunchuck. So hopefully chat enjoyed the different weapon showcase on our poor test subject, Galamoth. Let's see, I got enough saves, so I can refight Galamoth in other areas, if I want to. I can showcase the death skip one more time, I guess. This is without relics. We're gonna try this again, like this. Yeah, there we go. So you can finally do a death skip. I know people have been asking for it, so... With enough momentum, you can get through that. But you gotta space it just right, or you'll miss the platform, and it'll be very awkward. Yeah, this is the scene where I started with Duplicator. It's like, come on. So I death skipped, like, a Varda, and then I got a Duplicator as my follow-up item, and immediately also had Power of Sire. Like, come on. Like, how do you even deal with that? Yeah, look at that. I had Power of Sire. I just had all my starting items right here. I'm like, GG. I never have to go in the menu again if I don't feel like it. I even had an attack potion. I didn't even pay attention. Didn't even need it. Too strong, chat. I love the death sound effect just kind of looping in the background. So yeah, it was pretty fun seed. I will state. I had a weird route, but I think it still went okay, despite the small mistakes. Poor enemies. Our fireballs are too strong. The axe other colors based on the cape. Indeed it is, Mina, so you might have noticed. If I unequip the cape that I have, I'll go back to normal colors. So there's kind of like a semi-palette swap, depending on what cape you have. There's the truly horrendous one, where I think... Which character has it? Is it this one? So I think that's the Forest Cloak, even though it says Perfect Camouflage. But you also have the hideous Joseph's Cloak, which is ironically the reverse cloak in this one. Where it'll just be a random color each time you put it on. So you could just kind of cycle through colors if you really want to. Well, that one actually looks nice, the reverse cloak. Or just blue cape. I think that's Royal Cloak. So there's just different variations to make it a bit more interesting. So chat has some control. They can force said streamer to switch capes if they want to see the different colors. Oh, we got the Barney color there. Oh, that one is special. Got the Sunburst, I like to call it. Oh, I went back to the other one by accident. Got the yellow version of that. Different version of the purple. It doesn't remember what colors you've done, so it is a bit random. Another variation of the purple. Ooh, one's kind of nice. So yeah, there's just different varieties of color. We went through all the mechanics. We showcased the new weapon balancing. Power of Sire is meant to be the new Chrysogrim, for sure. I think it's actually stronger than Chrysogrim, as is. I might nerf it, we'll see. I think if chat manages to get a Duplicator and a Varda and a Power of Sire, it should feel fun. So maybe I'll leave it like that for now. But I think we've hit the end of the stream. So let's talk about how we think the session went. Oh, I have my patch notes still open. So we reviewed basically everything there. There's my other random notes. I don't think I missed showcasing anything. We showed Kicky Feet. We did that for different sub-weapons. We used every sub-weapon on Galamoth. We showcased the air momentum changes depending on what relics you have. We showcased teching off the ground, so if you get hit, you can get through the iframes faster to react. We showcased using the tech while in the air to get more airtime a couple times. We didn't use it for platform skipping, but it could be there. We didn't talk about the damage formulas, but they're there for people that care about that stuff. And we showcased Death Skip. So I think we covered basically everything. Actually, no, there's one thing I forgot to cover. Those are the crouch buffs. So originally, when you force yourself into the Alucard state, it actually removed all iframes. Like you would have like maybe literally one iframe and that was about it. So you would take damage at an insane rate. So we're gonna bait Galamoth to do his lightning attack, and we should not die instantly. Let's make sure that that's working. So wake up, Galamoth. You got something to do. As you can see, it's like a reasonable pace. It's reasonable. We recovered from death health because we had regen health. We did the death cry but didn't die, but then we died the second time. That's fine. So we're not dying instantly anymore. It's still not recommended you use crouch, but I guess if people want to try to use it, like for ducking the Galamoth ball, we did move the hurt box lower, so it's less likely to hit us. Oh, my bad, chat. My bad. We'll showcase that again then. So we'll wake Galamoth up. He's still got another job to do. We're showcasing how quick the lightning would hit you. It's like at a reasonable pace. You can tell where the iframes were off where I get hit twice there. So you still die pretty quickly, but not like instantly. I could give it more generous iframes. We'll see. Like right now it's like just under 2 seconds. Like there it's okay. I didn't take like a bazillion damage. Like this attack normally does a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. Kinda is what it is. So anyway, just wanted to showcase that. Game over. So Crouch got buffed. It does lower the hurt box, so I don't think we have to worry about getting hit by bats when we're on the Charon boat, for example, or the whatever the boat keeper's name is. And we're trying to duck the bats. That should no longer be an issue. So I think overall I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to take a look at Rebound Stones specifically on the left wall. I think that's the only thing I need to see. Let me move it out of there and put it in my change notes. I can find it later. But I think at this rate, I'm probably going to release this patch tomorrow. So for anybody interested in trying the Axe Armor, it is basically feature complete at this point. I can clean up some of the animations of the character. And, you know, there's always damage balancing. You know, it is what it is. But in terms of being able to do things, like you can death skip, crouch works as intended. You got quick settings in the menu, so you could choose between a Mayhem run, an Axe Armor run, and an Axe Armor with item run. Every item is useful now. You have consumable food, for example, that actually heals you. Potions do what they are expected to do. Almost every relic has been updated at this point to do something special. I think the only exceptions are like Fairy Scroll and what's it called? Spirit Orb, because those are potential just starting items that are just meant for kind of fluff. So I'm never really going to touch those or make those mandatory. But other than that, like unfortunately, due to the way SotN is coded, you're not able to actually throw projectiles unless you're Alucard. So unless I sit there and really copy every single ID and look through every single animation and do it, I don't think it's realistic to be able to do certain effects. I might be able to update neutron bombs specifically because for whatever reason that's considered an Alucard effect and not like an item effect. SotN is coded in a very strange way, chat. I would just state it doesn't really make sense, but we'll take it for what it is. Things like shields, you could do damage while holding shields, but you do less of it. So if you're doing dual shields, you're mostly just committing for defense to tank the early game. If you do equip a shield, I change your damage type to, I think, water poison, for example. So it's a damage type that's kind of strange and not used pretty much at all in the game, but it's there. And we have multi-hitting weapons, as you saw with Power of Sire, which hits 4 times. Pretty strong, so if you manage to get it, it does feel pretty good. We showcase teching, speed ups, converting both our sub-weapons into hearts, our hearts into MP, our MP into speed. We used all 3 of those mechanics during that playthrough, so that was pretty fun. We showcased me running out of MP due to spamming Gravity Jump. We saw momentum changes, and we went through all the sub-weapons. So at this point, it's just going to be handed over to the testers, I think tomorrow at some point. Oh, I'm a little past my cutoff time, I just noticed. But I'll be handing this over, I think, after stream on Sunday. I'm going to test like a few really small balance changes, and then I'm going to say go wild with it. If you have any interest in the patch itself, it takes very minimal setup if all you want to do is test Axe Armor and you don't care about the Twitch integration. So definitely recommend you check it out. I have all the quick settings in place, so you don't have to look through the menus and figure things out. You can just do the recommended defaults for gameplay itself, and that should be good enough for now. So I don't think there's anything I missed. We talked about all the bug fixes. Single hit got nerfed. We didn't get to see much of single hit because I started with Power of Sire, but it did get nerfed. So we'll kind of fine tune the damage as we see fit. I think slowing down Holy Water will be our first initial nerf. It's still going to be very strong. You know what? I'll make this 14 frames. Fun. So that way the enemy just isn't instantly deleted. It should still do a ton of damage because it does more damage than normal. I think that's kind of a good trade-off, I think. So anyway, chat, we've hit the end of the stream. Hopefully you had fun. I had a good time, even though I felt pretty rusty at Axe Armor and just SotN in general. And yeah, we're going to be heading this over. It wouldn't be so if Holy Water wasn't OP. I mean, you're not wrong. Holy Water I still think is one of the better ones. But just in terms of like just usability, things like the, what is it, the Starlight that increases the cross damage, that works. We didn't pick one up during the gameplay, but you can boost the damage cross does, so that functions as intended. Heartbroach, reducing how much sub-weapons cost, is still active, so our new sub-weapons that cost 20 hearts, or cost between, well, 2 and 20 hearts is more accurate, can be reduced by half by just having one of them. And Mystic Pendant also works. So I feel almost every item in the game is useful, except for the armors. We even have things like the Poison Mushroom doing something. So honestly, it's really close to being done for a while. The only thing I'll really do is just kind of updating it to support if you want to play Axe Armor with the Mayhem, where it's like the chat enters the commands. I can make it a bit more user-friendly for that. That way chat commands will do more to the Axe Armor. I do feel like some things are already working. Like, for example, removing relics is a really big nerf to Axe Armor, and definitely adds a lot of challenge to the run. But I think other than that, we'll be focusing probably a bit more on Mayhem after this patch, and maybe just do some very light Axe Armor changes just to make it more applicable for Mayhem, as I just mentioned. But for now, chat, hopefully you had fun. And I guess I'll say with that, thank you all for joining. Hope you have a good day or a good night, depending on the time zone.